Some of you have asked me to tell my story about how I came to play the lyre and how I found out about the lyre and where I got my lyre. So here's this story. It started in 2013 when we decided for some reason to move to a tiny town in the mountains, and they had a sign which proudly proclaimed City of Festivals, which I soon found was from the time when the town was a lot more bustling and happening, and by the time we had moved there, pretty much all of the festivals were gone. So fast forward to the next year, and I was putting my daughter in Highland dancing, and we came back to the big city and went to a Highland Games where she was able to do some Highland dancing and happened upon a group of Vikings, and I asked them if they would be interested in coming out to our little town to help me put on a festival. They said to contact them, and long story short, the next summer they were out, and I was putting on a festival on a super shoestring budget just so that we would have something fun for the kids to do, something fun for families to do. And I sat down with a couple of the Viking reenactors because I didn't realize that wasn't protocol, and they were playing the lyre, and they showed me a couple things, and I sat down and played it for about an hour. And I was an elementary school music teacher. I grew up playing the piano, playing the guitar, and various other instruments, and so it was an easy transition. Even if I hadn't, it was still pretty easy to play, but I was playing songs pretty much right away on the lyre, and I was entranced with how easy it was and how relaxing it was. And unintentionally, I created a tradition of putting on this medieval festival, which lasted for 4 years before I decided that I really was a big city girl at heart and needed to move back to the city. And so I announced that it would be the last year we were putting on the festival, and I was gifted with my Anglo-Saxon lyre by one of the Viking reenactors who created it for me, who made it for me. And I fell in love with the instrument right away. I was so thrilled. One of the top best gifts I've ever received. And I would play it and use it sort of almost like a meditation. It would relax me, it would relax my husband, put him to sleep pretty much every time I played it. And I loved it. I have lots and lots of instruments at my house. I think at last count it was over 50. And one day my kids decided they wanted to learn to play the guitar like Mom. And so I taught them the intro to one, which, as anybody who has played that knows, doesn't use any frets. And it occurred to me that because their fingers are a little small for trying to make chords with the frets, that the lyre might work for them, and it did, and they loved playing it too. And so I thought it would be fun to share it. And somebody I was talking to said, well, if you can play a 6-string lyre, could you play a 7-string lyre or a 16-string lyre? And so I went to trusty old Amazon and got my first modern bean lyre, as they're called. This is a 7-string. I have tuned it like a 7-string historic lyre. They're usually tuned pentatonic, but more on that in the tuning video. And so I enjoyed playing this one, and I thought I would get a 16-string one as well. So here's my 16-string lyre, and which is fun for doing melodies as opposed to chords. So I enjoy that one as well. And my next goal is I'm working on creating lyre lessons of all sorts for everybody to enjoy so that everyone can learn to play the lyre, because of course, as I never tire of saying, it is the easiest stringed instrument to learn. And so thank you for joining us on this journey, and I hope that you are also learning how to play the lyre or interested in learning about it. And be sure to subscribe and check out the links in our description for more about our lessons and what we're doing with the lyre. So thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.